Welcome to the Loosening Captives channel, where we discuss everything having to do with deliverance and inner healing. Today's topic is how to protect your child from school's evil influences. Many parents find themselves at a loss regarding how to protect their children from various issues prevalent in schools today, such as bullying, violence, and the promotion of the transgender homosexual agenda. This is particularly concerning in public schools where parents may not have the financial means to enroll their children in Christian or non-secular institutions. There is an increasing awareness among parents that these schools often serve as indoctrination camps for an agenda that opposes Christian beliefs and seeks to undermine the future generation of this and other nations. During school board meetings, many parents have expressed their frustration and outrage over their child's curriculum, only to face accusations and persecution, with some of them even being labeled as terrorists. However, an increasing number of parents have chosen to remove their children from these schools, particularly in the ultra-liberal states of the United States, resulting in a decrease in the public school enrollments by 2 to over 2% between 2020 and 2022. The popularity of homeschooling has also soared, with the number of homeschooled children in the United States increasing from 2.3% or from 2.3 million in 2016 to 4.3 million in 2022. Nevertheless, for parents who are unable to afford the option of transferring their children to private or religious schools, here are some guidelines to help you actively protect and facilitate inner healing and deliverance to your children. Number one, contact the school principal or superintendent and request access to the curriculum for the academic year. Number two, attend the school board meetings and voice your concerns and opposition to the content being taught. Number three, if the curriculum remains unchanged, diligently review your child's lesson and homework daily to counteract any indoctrination. Four, engage in conversation with your child, ideally before the school year begins, about biblical teachings such as God's creation of only male and female and other topics taught in school that may contradict the Bible. 5. Educate them with the truth by teaching them from children's Bible, equipping them to recognize falsehoods. 6. Pray using the Word of God and make declarations from scriptures over your children. 7. Before your children go to school, visit the Heavenly Court of Records within the Court of Titles and Deeds to examine their bond registry and ask the clerk to read it to you if you can't see in the spirit. 8. Eliminate any malevolent bonds from your child's registry and cancel them in the Court of Cancellations. 9. In the Court of Cancellation, nullify every assignment and scheme against your child, requesting deliverance angels to remove any demonic contamination or infiltration from them. In the name of Jesus, repeat this daily after school. 10. Return to the bond registry and establish godly bonds over them. Issue a bond of the blood of Christ for their protection over their mind, soul, spirit, and body. Issue a bond of the light of Christ over their mind, soul, spirit, and body. 11. Place your hands over your child's head and declare as an intentional act of a parent that you release from their soul, spirit, and body any demonic philosophy or teaching, as well as bullying words or actions. Be specific and mention the specific teaching or act if possible. 12. Affix to their soul, spirit, and body specific bonds such as peace, joy, and biblical truth about their identity, etc. 13. Seek the guidance of the Holy Spirit throughout this process. Now, to get more information regarding the bonds and the bond registry, visit looseningcaptivesblog.com, and there you can get the book Releasing Bonds from the Courts of Heaven by Dr. Ron M. Horner, and that will give you more detail about the process. Now, if you are watching this video but you're not saved, the Lord Jesus Christ is not your Lord and Savior, and you would like to receive him now, say this prayer out loud after me. Lord Jesus, I recognize that I am a sinner in need of a Savior. I ask for your forgiveness of my sins and cleansing of my transgressions through your precious blood, which you shed to pay the penalty for my sins. I believe that you are the Son of God and that you died and rose again on the third day. I invite you to come into my heart and life as my Lord and Savior. With your guidance, I will live for you until the day you call me to heaven to be with you. Thank you, Lord. Now, if you prayed this prayer in faith, welcome to the family of God. Start reading your Bible and ask the Lord Jesus Christ to provide you with a good church where you can grow in the things of God. Now, thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I will see you at our next video. Bye-bye.